Hey folks, Dr. O here. Hope you're well. End of a day. I'm just literally catching up on a few things before I shoot back to see the kids. Had to come in, had to go out, had to come back in again. So I wanted to do a quick video. I know I did one this morning, but this one's to do with money. And I think I'm going to pick this up as a theme moving ahead over the next week or so. Not every single day, but certainly just tackle this one head on. So, we're coming through COVID. There's been many people furloughed, many people in a situation where they've been made redundant, unemployed. Some people are saving money because they haven't spent it on holidays. Other people have saved money because they're just not spending. Other people have spent. Amazon gone through the roof. A lot of deliveries to people's houses, and there's a lot of people sitting there thinking, "What do I do next? I'm coming out of this. Do I want to stay in my career, etc." And a lot of it's driven by the need to have a better financial situation or to be able to have a better lifestyle and want to be able to do that and have choices. And with choices comes the ability or the need to, first of all, be able to financially put yourself in a position to have those choices, i.e. where do I travel, when do I travel, how do I travel, who do I travel with, etc. And I'm using travel as an example, but that's just one thing. And the thing I found over the years, because I used to run financial workshops and we have some material online that people use and purchase from me, and this is to do with mindset, money management systems. I've even got hypnotic visualizations that I've taken people through over the years, and we've recorded those now to take people through a decoding, if you like, of their negative mindset around money and then restructuring that into a positive way. In fact, there was a lady a couple of years ago who I know very well. I won't name her name here, but she listened to, I think it's a 38-minute closed eye, really deep process that I took and still take people through on the recording. And off the back of that, the next day she raised 600k, I think it was. So that's pretty damn good going, I think. So I want to strip that down and just give you one simple thing. How do you spot credit blur? And credit blur is just a term that I've used for the last 15, 20 years or more. And it refers to, in fact, I first used it, interestingly enough, in the late 90s. So that's going back a long time. It refers to someone that hasn't got clarity. In other words, there's a blur. They haven't got clarity on their credit, their financial situation, their financial statements. So that includes bank statements, credit card statements, statements from your mortgage company, credit cards, all of that stuff, loans. So I've kind of boiled that into one term and called it credit blur. And it's like, I don't want to. So here's the signs when you know that maybe you haven't got such a great relationship with the money. You are afraid to open up your bank account and look at the bank statement. You're afraid to open up a letter that comes through the door that has a summary of your financial situation. You feel uncomfortable sitting down and discussing your finances with your partner. You feel uncomfortable making choices around how to manage your money, and you may even have a habit of spending money but then not looking to see how much you've got left and what's available to spend. Fuck it, I'll just spend it anyway and hopefully I'll sort things out at the end of the month. You don't really have clarity on how the money is going to stretch out over the next month, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months. You certainly don't have clarity down to how much you're spending on a monthly basis, how much is coming in, how much you're allocating to savings, how much you're using to treat yourself to money, how much you're giving to charity, how much you're investing. You wouldn't have that level of clarity if you have credit blur, because blur is just a blur. It's just a grayness. And you'd certainly have a slight tension in your tummy, or a tightness in your chest, or a kind of a fuzziness when it comes to dealing with or handling your finances, making big decisions around money. And certainly when it comes to buying something for an investment or your education or anything like that, it's like, I'm not sure. So there are 4 personality types that over the years I've talked about. I'm not going to cover them here. I might do them on another live just to have a bit of fun with you, and you can decide which one you are. But the key thing here is to look for those traits I've just talked about. And honestly, if you've got a partner or you are feeling that, chances are 2 things. One, you've got credit blur, which means that you're not 100% comfortable with your financial situation. Rather than face up to it, you just kind of blur it. It's a bit like soft filter on a movie, You don't see all the stuff that I've got, your little marks and years and the lines in the eyes. Oh my gosh, Dr. Rowe, he's really looking 54 now. Soft filter makes somebody look, Well, we soft filter finances as well if we have credit blur, meaning that you don't really want to find out the detail of it. And, if you said to me, well, what's a quick solution to that? Well, you have to sit up, take a deep breath and say, right, I've got to draw a line here now. What do I do next? How do I deal with that? What's the best way to handle my current situation? I'll do that on a separate video. I don't want to do it here because I actually want to address it head on. So if you're listening to this, let me just remind you again of the clues. if you have a tenseness when it comes to dealing with money, if you find a resistance to sitting down and opening up all your notes and your accounts and paperwork and all that stuff, and laying out on paper your credit file, your bank statements, and all that, if you feel any sort of resistance to that and working through it, or there's a kind of a nervousness about what the end result's going to be, how much am I making per month versus how much am I spending, what am I equal to at the end of a year, how much borrowing have I got, what's the interest rates on that borrowing, and all of that stuff, if that's the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, then chances are you definitely got a bad relationship with money because you don't feel healthy about dealing with it. And secondly, you got credit blur. I spent probably 4 hours this afternoon just looking through spreadsheets with my accounts manager, stripping down our portfolio to see where we've got properties that could work harder, where we might be coming into a problem, say in the next 2 or 3 months. We've got a few student lets, I'll talk about that separately, and what's that particular university looking to do? Are they looking to move back the opening of the year? Are they going to start next year? Because some universities right now are even considering just going like online for the next 6 months. So how's that going to affect us? They're not easy conversations to have. But you have to face up to them. So we sat and went through all of this. Where's stuff doing really well? That's doing well. That's doing well. What needs to be adjusted? Where have we got borrowing that we can reduce our interest rates? All that stuff. So these are conversations that you've got to have upfront, close and personal, with yourself, with your computer, with your laptop, whatever you use, and with your bank account. So they're the signs. If anyone's watching this and you're thinking, okay, no, Dr. Rowe, that is exactly where I feel I'm at the moment, not a problem. I'm going to tackle this in a few lives coming up over this week. Look out for them. And if you've got friends that are in a situation where they are actually doing that, then you might want to pass this on to them as well. I have got a money program. It's called Money Mastery. And right now, I won't even tell you how to get hold of it. It's actually through our Growth Tribes point of contact. So you go into the Growth Tribes, and in there's a vault right now, and we have a whole audio and a video and a series of tools, spreadsheets and things like that. But let me give you some clues to start with, because it may be that you can just manage with what I'm sharing with you now here on live. I've got to go. Take care, and cha-ching. Let's talk about money this week.